for that. Let's sort that one out. And what about people who have too loud TV commercials? They used to have that one. Let's bring that one. Mr. Speaker, the reason the Labour Party is struggling for relevance is because they have no idea what's important to Kiwis. They make stuff up and they exaggerate. In short, they're tricky, Mr. Speaker.
Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, not one word to defend Judith Collins from that minister. Not one single word to defend Judith Collins from Stephen Joyce, because he's enjoying every single minute of this. Mr. Speaker, the so-called Crusher Collins, the powerful person who backs down to nobody, sneaks out the back door of this House and didn't face the media on the way in and didn't face the media on the way out. And that's because, Mr. Speaker, she has something to hide. She does not want to front up to New Zealanders about what she did. The great Crusher Collins has been crushed, Mr. Speaker. She has been crushed because she has refused to front up to New Zealanders. And don't mistake for a minute, there's a reason why John Key hasn't got rid of Judith Collins. It is because he is donkey deep in this Aurovita saga. He's the recipient of $56,000 worth of donations that we know about, and there could well be more. He's playing golf with the chairman, but he also has managed to appear in advertisements for Aurovita Limited. Now, I didn't know that John Key was a fan of Monty Python until yesterday, when this appeared, which is a large, what I would call, Mr. Speaker, an advertisement for Aurovita Limited that appeared in a Chinese airline magazine. And down at the bottom of this picture of Mr. Goodfellow's scampi that's here, we have a picture of John Key. That would be John Key at the bottom of this. And the Chinese translation here says that John Key hosted a banquet for important Chinese people, presumably a banquet with this scampi at it. But it's okay, because John Key's office said this is not an advertisement. It's all right. Well, Mr. Speaker, as they say, I know a dead parrot when I see one, and this is a dead parrot, Mr. Speaker. This is an advertisement. John Key is right in the middle of this Aurovita saga, and that is why he is refusing to sack Judith Collins. But let's make sure everybody is absolutely clear here. A $30,000 ministerial visit to China for the Minister of Justice. She pre-arranges 2 meetings with the Aurovita directors, one in Shanghai and one in Beijing. Let's be clear, Stone Shi and Julia Zhu travelled with Judith Collins on this trip. They were in Beijing for the dinner, and then they were in Shanghai 2 days later for her to visit their offices. This wasn't the Minister of Justice on her own on a ministerial trip. This was the Minister of Justice pre-arranging visits with the fellow directors of Aurovita who are there along with her husband. And again, her husband is a director of 5 companies associated with Aurovita Limited, associated with Stone Shi and Julia Zhu. So these were pre-arranged meetings, which she has sought to cover up from the beginning, to claim that she popped in on the way to the airport when she had to drive 30 kilometres in the wrong direction to actually get to Aurovita's headquarters, to then cover up the dinner, a dinner with an official from a border control agency. Mr. Speaker, I am sure that person was from AQSIQ, the agency responsible for whether or not Aurovita's products get into China. And we know, because Julia Zhu went on TV1's Q&A program and said Aurovita was having trouble getting products into China, Julia Zhu then writes to Tim Grosser and Nathan Guy and says, we're having trouble getting our products into China, please intervene. And then Judith Collins ends up at a dinner with a senior official from the agency responsible for getting those products in. She was there working on behalf of her husband's company. She was there in a clear conflict of interest situation. If John Key had any standards whatsoever for his ministers, she would be gone. Pansy Wong went, Richard Worth went, Judith Collins should be gone. The taxpayers of New Zealand deserve far better than the cronyism and corruption of John Key's government. Judith Collins does not deserve to be a minister. She should go. John Key should know that New Zealanders expect a fair go for all the companies and all the people. That is not what they're getting at the moment. What they're getting is Aurovita, a company that Judith Collins is closely associated with, being preferenced over other companies. That's called cronyism. That's called corruption. That's the national government.
Very good. Honourable and